how many episodes do we have? We have
We
like,
have like 20 something.
Too many to the point where we should know.
yeah,
what we're doing.
and we're still like, dude,
Look, I
Internet.
take no fault in this, all right? It's the internet's fault. It's probably AI or some shit.
Like streaming from different places is like doing
Tough.
podcasts hard. We did that during COVID sometimes where it was like we were all at each other's houses and Ryan has the worst internet on the planet because he's just he's a space cadet and he won't fix it. Oh, sorry guys. Like,
wait,
this is so bad.
So you guys did you did a podcast during the pandemic?
Yeah,
Was it just like you guys just shooting the shit, or
pretty
just,
much. We had. I think Nate was. Did you ever come on, Nate? You
No,
came on, right?
I did it because I was just about to tell the story. You text me at like 10 at night. You're like, what are you doing? I was like, oh
yeah, it was very late, last minute.
You were like,
yeah.
we're drunk and we want you on the podcast.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, right now? I couldn't do it. And then I think we tried again. It never happened, but
Yeah, no,
That's
like,
funny.
we started it. It was for a long time. It was just us,
yeah.
and then we essentially within like 3 months blew through every single band story and tour story.
yeah.
We're getting close with ours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is gonna be over in 2 months.
I'm like recycling stories already.
Yeah,
I'm like,
of course.
shit, I already told that
Yeah,
story.
there have been a couple moments where you're like, did I tell you that? And we're like, yep.
Yeah,
I'm like, damn it.
And then like we would do, we would have friends on and things like that, and then it just kind of became like we were doing it because we had like a Patreon and a Discord, and like, we were like, it just got to the point where we were like, what are we doing here?
Yeah,
like, we don't
just
have
tired.
anything to talk about. Like Ryan's always itching to leave. Like, you know what I mean?
You could
So-
like tell he's just like,
oh yeah, dude.
he's like, all right. Like,
Hey, at
looking at
least
his
you had a
watch.
Patreon and you're getting paid. We're not doing any of that.
Yeah,
We're
we
not
do this.
very,
We
very
lose
astute
money.
business people.
Well, as long as you're having fun, I guess.
Sponsored by Squarespace.
I mean, we said,
No, we're not.
we're gonna, you got to bleep that.
But we'd like to be.
We it's just like your pitch, Reed.
Yeah.
It's Squarespace, if you're listening.
I mean, like if
Hey,
anybody's
you know
out
what?
there, like
Hey, when it's 9:45,
Let's go.
Oh, Nate's totally back.
yeah.
I love it. Last week we're talking. You're like, I think I'm going to stop drinking. Oh,
Hey,
so it's a
suck it,
0.
Reed.
You are. I'll eat my words.
all right, before we get too far, welcome, Josh.
Mhm.
We
Yes.
just went straight into
Yeah,
it.
Josh. Yeah. Hi, Josh.
Hi.
Hi.
Josh from Story of the Year.
Story
I
of the
was
year.
thinking
What other
about
bands are
this
you in?
sporting. That's it. It's the only one I've ever done. I
Thanks
was
for coming
thinking,
on so early.
no, it's all good.
Um,
I was thinking about it this morning. I was like, well, they can ask me questions, but they could probably just ask Nate because Nate's been with me more than anybody.
Well,
I literally
Yeah, but
was
you guys
texting
have
the
known
dude
each other
that,
for a long time.
Yeah, we were talking about it. I was like, dude, between Josh and I was like, we've toured together so much and we have so many stories. But it's true. I feel like all of the big things, I'm like, I could probably finish your sentence.
Just ask Nate. He's got it.
This interview.
So on that, let's start on that. Josh, what's your favorite Nate story or memory?
Holy
Oh,
shit,
man.
that's not what I thought you were going to say. I thought you were going to be like, on that, how about a cool story? You're just
Yeah.
like, what's your favorite Nate
on that, I have a
story?
question. I got a question to fire this off, but
Here's the thing. When we first started touring, we knew who Amberlin was because of our old guitar player, Phil. And he kind of showed us, and we were like, this is fucking awesome. We'd listen to it in the van all the time. And then once it got to the point where we're like, we could pick people to bring with us, we immediately chose them. And then come to find out, like, Nate's doing fucking homework on tour.
yeah,
He's still in fucking
Yeah,
high
dude.
school.
he's 9 years old.
Yeah, I'm going, what
I
the
love how
fuck
the
is
age just
happening?
keeps going down. I used to be 13 and now
Yeah.
I'm 9.
He couldn't even talk yet.
Well, I mean, like,
Yeah,
what? And
he had to change his diapers.
well, it's like, was it 04, 03 or 04? I don't
think
remember.
it was 04 because
Well,
when
how old
did,
were you then?
Okay, well, let me think.
3.
I was homeschooled and I did school.
What
on the
year were you
road, so
born,
I'm gonna have to
Nate?
count on my hands. Hold on.
Oh my gosh.
Speaking of
Were
doing
you
homework,
you were born 87?
87.
Okay, so you're roughly 15
Yeah.
or 16.
That's
Roughly.
so crazy.
If it was-
man.
if it was like
You're
if
younger
16,
than I
if it was
thought. You were younger
2003.
than I thought you were.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
So you
Like,
were
he's like, yeah,
you
dude.
were in
I
high
mean,
school.
I mean, if it was 04, yeah, I was 16, something like that. It depends.
Yeah,
when was the Nintendo Fusion Tour? What month?
It was
cold,
fall of
right?
04. Yeah.
Okay.
Fall
It was
04.
cold.
It was cold. That's all I remember.
You were 17.
October,
but
November, something like that.
Okay.
17 touring. That's crazy to me.
Wait,
Yeah.
so
I felt like at that point I've been doing it for so many years. 'Cause I started when I was 14, so that was like,
You were 9.
You were doing it longer than I was doing it.
yeah, that's true. Up until that point.
wait, so this was a
Holy
tour
shit.
that you guys were you guys headlining or was
Yeah.
this like okay.
Yeah. Well, I'll
Yeah.
just say real quick before we like dive into all of it, that like truly, and we say this all the time in other interviews, Story of the Year is truly one of the biggest reasons why Amberlin never had a shot fully, because there was no reason why we should have been on that tour. Like he said, he's like, we could just pick bands. We were like, what the fuck? They're like, so Story of the Year was to take you on Nintendo Fusion Tour with My Chemical Romance, Lost Prophets, and then it was like didn't they swap out the other band or who was it?
Yeah, that our friends Adair came out for a little while.
Yeah.
There was the Lost Prophets and My Chem were like,
And us, we did the whole thing as well.
yeah. So it was a longer show. I can't even imagine going and seeing like 5 bands now. But yeah,
Yes, seriously.
yeah, so that was the Fusion. That was our last tour of the first record cycle.
Yeah.
It was like the end one. It was really weird to do because it was.
But at that point, the tours we've done were like, we did like a couple cool ones, but that was obviously the biggest tour we've ever done. So, I mean, that was just such a crazy experience to go from like just little clubs to go playing for like thousands of people. So honestly, it was like such a crazy thing.
Did you have just the one album out, Nate, at the time, or did it never take? Was it out at that point?
No,
Nope,
it was
just our first
Yeah.
album was out.
yeah.
Okay.
And I remember it's actually, I have like such a funny memory of we had done demos or something. And I remember in your back room, Ryan was like, yo, play me new demos. And I played him, I played him Feel Good Drag. And I remember like, and I did not think, no one knew what that song was at the time.
Yeah.
And even that came out on the second album. And it still didn't do anything until we re-recorded it.
Nate, you were like, hey, check this out, man. Check this out.
I love the voice y'all give me. It's super fun.
Jordan's not here, so we
Oh, yeah,
have
so
to avoid
Ben's
somehow.
I gotta
up
keep
on-
it alive a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's good.
But anyway,
So was this Josh? This was on like the big album. Like
Mhm.
what?
Yeah, it
what
was Page
what
Avenue.
period was? Okay, yeah, all right.
Which I didn't realize, and I did a little bit of reading earlier, and I didn't realize that was your first album.
Uh-huh.
Nothing
Yeah.
before
That's
that
crazy.
at all, or
That's
like
insane.
no
Well,
EP?
we had like a small, like a 5-6 song.
yeah, like an EP or some, sure.
But that was when we were called Big Blue Monkey.
I was about to
Like-
say, tell them
and
you
they
were
called
called
What?
Yeah,
Big Blue Monkey.
this was not me.
Come again?
I wanted to say it, but I didn't know. if
I
Josh was gonna give up.
joined Big Blue Monkey because
All right.
so me, Ryan, and Dan, singer and guitar player, we've known each other since we were 14.
It's crazy.
Skateboarded, played music. Ryan was in another band with me, like a local kind of like emo band.
And this is in Missouri? Did you
Yeah,
grow up in Missouri?
what
Okay.
I consider emo, I don't consider what we do in Amberlin is
Yeah,
emo. I
agreed.
don't
Yeah.
consider that emo.
I agree with
Ooh,
that.
let's get that. That's a hot
Yeah.
topic on this
Like
podcast.
my emo, my emo is like Sunny Day, Jimmy
Yeah,
Earl,
yeah,
Mineral.
Yeah,
Sense
thank
Field.
you.
That's my emo. Even like
Preach.
Fugazi, that
Did
kind
you
of
say
stuff.
Sensefield?
Yeah,
Yes,
dude.
man, what a band!
Promise Ring, all
Oops.
that
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
like one of my first shows ever was at this small 200 cap club in St. Louis with Jimmy Eat World opening, Mineral, and Sensefield.
That's crazy.
Holy.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a crazy show.
Holy cow!
Yeah, it was
Which album did Jimmy have at the
Static.
time? Static.
Whoa.
It
Man,
just
Dude,
came out.
so
I
sick.
don't know if I know a lot of people that have seen them
Well, no,
pre-clarity.
so check it. So I was listening to you guys' episode with Zach,
Mhm.
and he said that they started touring in '94, and that's the year I saw them.
Oh my
Okay.
god!
It was
dude.
nice.
Oh, I thought you were just going to
95.
fact check him, so you're validating what he said.
No, yeah.
It's like he was wrong.
No, it was 94, 95, somewhere. 'Cause
Yeah.
I was still like in 10th grade in high school. Like it was, that was one of my first shows,
You were
Dude,
Nate's
that's-
age when you met him touring, basically.
pretty much.
Wait,
Oh
I have
my
a question.
God.
now. Wait, so what do you call what you guys do? What is the genre?
Yeah, if you're not emo,
Yeah, if you're not emo, what
for
are
sure
you?
not emo.
I would, dude.
Close to emo.
I'm just curious. I mean,
I guess you would the weird. I don't
like
know.
alternative. I mean, you know what I mean?
I
Like,
just call us a rock band.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
you know, if you're gonna put us somewhere, post-hardcore.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really
I was about
know.
to say, especially your second
screamo
album.
is definitely the terminology
Screamo,
back
that's
then.
another.
Yeah.
We just do so much different stuff.
Yeah.
That it's hard to just go, oh, they're that.
Well,
Sure.
it's not like metalcore because I think that's way techier. You know what I mean? So it's like, but
melodic too. But
it's also funny that genres are such a funny thing.
Yeah.
It's also like, who cares? But it's also, you gotta like find it. But I'm I've always felt like Story of the Year could play Warped Tour, could play arenas, could do anything. And I always thought that was cool because you'll have ballads that are like huge singles, but then you guys have riffs that are insanely heavy. So I just think it's cool that you can kind of be placed in so many different ways, you know?
Yeah, like earlier last year, was that last year? I don't even remember now. We did Knot Fest in Australia.
Yeah, that's so sick.
It was bizarre. But it's Australia, so it's
but
like
did it fit? Like
it worked.
Was it cool?
Like
yeah, that's what I mean.
You'd think it would not work, and it worked just fine. But you got to understand too, like Australia is a different vibe. Like the fans, they don't give a shit. Like
they're way cooler.
Yeah, like here, if we would have played Knot Fest, we would have got batteries thrown at us. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Batteries.
The old battery.
No.
Yeah,
it's true, man. Australia is way more chill with that stuff.
Yeah, so like,
I mean, they can do like Soundwave and have like Nine Inch Nails headlining, and then we're on it, and they're just like all over the place, and everyone's like, "Yeah, it's just cool." Like no one's like, "What are they on it?" You know?
Yeah, for sure. That's what we thought it was going to be, but you know, they liked what we were doing, and then when we played Until the Day I Die, everybody knew it. So it was like, okay, well, you know, it works. But it was definitely weird. There's Dave Mustaine backstage. Cool.
Yeah,
I love it. So effective.
Let's
talk about drums.
Oh, drums.
You want to talk about
Should we do it?
Josh is like,
Why? Josh is like,
I don't ever get to talk. I ever get made fun of when I talk drums with people, and I
mean, we don't really.
I'm not like a giant drum nerd. I don't know how to tune my own drums.
That's fine.
Hey,
That's okay.
same.
And I'm usually on tour going, I'm the worst drummer on this tour.
No,
Oh my
I think
God.
we all do that.
Weird.
but-
I've definitely had thoughts like that. I'm
that's
with you.
every drummer, unless you're an
every
asshole.
tour. Every tour.
You're like, every day I wake up and I'm like,
why am I doing this? I think that's why I've never played with anyone else. Because I'm like, I can only play with the people I play with. I feel like if I went and played with other people, they'd be like, dude, what the fuck is this dude doing?
Well, yeah, so I was going to ask, what got you into drumming in the first place? Because you were all close, grew up together. Was it like by necessity that you decided to play music?
Play drums.
Yeah, exactly.
No, well, so we have, you guys ever heard of that band Bullets and Octane?
No, I haven't.
So, you know who Letter Kills is?
Yes.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Their new drummer, Gene,
Mm-hmm.
he's from St. Louis. He was the singer of this band Bullets and Octane that he moved out to California before we did. He is one of the best drummers I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, damn.
So and he was like that in middle school. I'd go to his house and watch him play.
Just get bummed.
Well, no, I wasn't even bummed because I didn't play then. We skated together. We skated together, and like my dad played guitar and tried to make me learn how to play guitar when I was real little. And, when you're like 7, you're like, I don't want to sit here and press my fingers into an acoustic for 3 hours.
That's
like
bummed. He's like,
yeah.
Yes.
It's uncomfortable. Like
it
when you're
hurts.
starting out.
Especially
It hurts.
acoustic, dude.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you got the claw.
So wait, going back to what? Did you just like stand in the room while your friend just played drums and you're like, this is cool?
Yeah, so we would go in his basement.
Yeah.
And he had this giant sound system. He didn't have headphones then. Like, he just had these fucking loud ass speakers. And we'd sit there and I'd watch him play like Pearl Jam Tim, front to back, front to back, flawlessly.
Cool.
Oh, he's one of those
Metallica
guys.
Black Album, Primus, like
sick.
Flawless. And
that's crazy.
So, I'd go there and I'd dick around on the drums and I'm not learning how to, like, why would I try to learn how to play the drums when he's just ripped this 3-hour, like, session for us? You know what I mean? So, but then, like, as the years went on, I would kind of mess with it and I kind of taught myself how to play, like, playing, like, air drums. like not even holding sticks. Like
really,
they're just kind of knowing what I knew from being at his house, how drums were set up. I kind of did that, or like on pillows or whatever. And then I didn't join like a band until I was in like 10th grade. Like,
damn.
So yeah, I taught myself, and then I'd go and mess with like, I'd mess around with like Ryan and Dan and stuff in their basement. The first song I actually ever played on the drums, which is weird because I can't really play it anymore, like how it's supposed to be played, was a Snapcase song. Which is, how is that your tough. Yeah, well, it was the album Looking Glass Self. It's like the first 2 tracks, they like bleed together.
Oh yeah, I know you're talking about
one long song.
Yeah,
and that was the first one I like physically played on the drums.
Damn,
like probably poorly, but for me at the time it was like, oh, dude, I did all that. You know what I mean? Whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't like join a band until I was in like 10th grade.
When did you get like a drum kit and stuff? Like
around that time.
Around that time?
Yeah, I got a Pearl Export. Like it's like forest green.
My dreams.
I think everyone had the Export, dude. I had an Export.
Yeah.
But
so
that green, I know it perfectly.
It's like I was like, dude, it's so terrible.
No, it's so sick.
No.
Yeah, but like now that I think about
Josh, you don't understand. That's like the drums I play now, just a different
color.
Nate,
Nate Ride or Die. Nate's Ride or Die.
Do you still have that kit or no?
No. So here's the funny thing about that. I didn't purchase it. My guitar player at the time,
stole it.
like because his mom made decent money, and he just he bought it. Like we put it in like layaway,
so
and we bought it.
That's sick.
So he stole from
his mom's money.
Well, she knew it was happening.
But
so
it's for me.
He has that kit now. He still has
it.
Really?
Oh, that's cool. See,
my first kit that I bought for myself was another Pearl, but it was an Export, but it was like a fusion kit.
Hell yeah.
So it came with like a 10, 12, 14.
Oof. Bring back the 10, dude.
And then I think I bought a 16, like a separate one, and it was like wood grain, like orange stain.
Oh yeah, when you had to like the fusion kit didn't come with a 16-inch floor tom. The biggest tom was a 14.
The biggest was the 14.
Yeah, now that I think about it, maybe we should bring back the 10. That should be the
10,
rack
dude.
tom.
The 10 and 14.
I have a 10. I have a 10 here at the house.
Do you really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's wrapped in grip tape. SJC made it for me.
Dude.
Yeah. I mean, I've still got my old Yamaha Stage Custom. It's 10, 12, and 14.
Oh wow.
10, 12. You still have that?
Two up, 10, 12. Oof.
Yeah, dude.
That's sick.
Like, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know that I could do it. I'm such like a creature of habit now that like Nate knows my set has not changed.
Yeah, it's been very similar.
What do you play now? Wait, unless Nate, you had a different question.
No, I was just saying creature of habit. Josh is a fellow, or not fellow because we don't. He tilts his ride the other way.
Yeah.
Like
like Josh Eppert.
Yeah, like Josh.
Yeah, but have you always done that, or is that
and his
something
name's
new?
Josh. Holy shit.
I haven't always done it.
No, it's like a new thing.
The last like 10, 15 years, 10 years maybe.
Okay.
But
what was
it's
the
just
reasoning?
for me,
I'm
I don't know.
Curious. Yeah.
Well, for me, because I crash on it a lot,
Mhm.
and if it's like angled towards me, like you're gonna do that stupid thing where you go to hit and it's just the tip of your stick.
Yeah.
You just go
My
ding.
favorite.
You're like,
Yeah.
So I started doing that, but like for me, the way I sit, it looks flat.
Yeah, well,
From where
you showed
That's
me
what
that.
Josh Eppert was saying.
Well,
This
Josh-
is like kind of
He said
Go
this.
ahead.
Like, come sit on my kit and see, and it is like an illusion.
Yeah.
When you're sitting there,
Do you sit
I mean,
high?
you could tell it's tilted.
Decently
No,
high.
yeah.
I don't sit on
Well, I
the
mean, like,
floor
are you like
Nate.
looking? Yeah.
Hey, I've changed, dude. I don't sit that way anymore.
Nate used to sit on the floor. Like he did a fucking
Oh,
throne.
yeah. You guys ever
I
seen
did.
how high Dave Grohl sits? Have you ever seen how he sits
He's
so
like on a
low?
bucket. Yeah,
he
he's
like
like on a
basically his
5-gallon
knees.
bucket.
Oh,
his
yeah.
knees are like that
Oh,
high.
weird.
Like,
So
crazy.
bad for you.
Yeah.
that can't be comfortable
Well,
at
Well,
all.
dude, you know what? Actually, going back to what you're saying, like sit behind my kit. It's so funny when you like sit behind anybody else's drum kit, and you're like, "What
You're like,
is
what the hell's
people-
wrong with him?
Yeah.
People sit down in mine and go, "Dude, I don't know how you do this." Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because it's like the ride's angled away. Like I have long ass arms, but like
Yeah.
everything's in real close.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
I
tight.
don't.
You have
I
a
don't-
10-inch rack, Tom? No.
I don't like to extend my shoulders anymore.
Yeah. So like, I feel you, man.
It's all got to be in like wrist whipping, area.
It is funny. That is like the one instrument in a rock band that you could just sit behind and it's going to be totally different depending on the person. Like you get a guitar, it's a guitar. I mean, obviously that,
Is it though? I don't know. I
don't know the feeling.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm just talking out of turn here because I'm a stupid drummer.
Yeah, Reed, you come on, man. Do your research.
I mean, the variables of like string size and all that. Like
Strap
I think that's like
tell
like
us, Nate.
small.
Tell us, Nate. Yeah.
Yes, very small differences.
Drums are so bizarre, dude. And we're all weird. Like something could be off like a millimeter, and you're like, dude, my kit's all messed up.
Well, that's
man.
what I'm saying. Yeah. Like I think it's a psychological thing too. But like the times when I've like even just like during a show when you're like, I think something is off, and like your brain just that's all it thinks about, and you're just like
you're fucking with everything.
Yeah,
like you can figure it out.
And my drum tech's looking at me, going, dude, what's wrong? I was like, it's not you, man.
Yeah, it's not you, it's me. It's like,
I see what's wrong. You're like, I don't know, but something.
I'm just moving
wrong.
shit.
There's something wrong with me.
I'm like,
I can feel it.
Such like I care, but I don't. Like,
sure.
If my drum tech sets up something wrong, if it's like
you
my
throw
splash
sticks at him.
Yeah.
He's gone.
I move it, and I'm aggravated in the moment, and I move it, and then I don't talk about it. I don't say anything later. So the next show, it gets set up how it was when it was messed up for me today, and I just keep moving it every show. I don't say anything.
You probably should tell him at some point.
He's gonna find out on this. He's gonna hit you and be like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. No, I've said that to all my techs. I'm like, hey man, it's not
this
you.
Is wrong. No,
I move it and I don't think about it ever again until
so it doesn't bother your show.
No,
it doesn't phase you.
But that's what I'm saying. I think it's the psychological thing where like I don't think you need to move it. I think it's just you're in the habit of like, okay, I do have to move at least something because it's not, I don't think it's exactly
constantly
right.
Messing with
like a form of nerves. Or,
That's
for me. That I would do that sometimes.
Hey man, I teched and I just tell the person, I'd be like, you're wrong. You're wrong. It's not me. It's not.
Oh. That's good. That's good.
And Ben,
you no
get a
lot of jobs.
I no longer drum techs.
You're not a tech anymore. I wonder why. Ben, you'd also be better than every drummer you'd ever tech for. I'd fire you just for that.
Yeah, I feel like Ben would be like, all right, I'll just play if you're going to be a little sissy about it.
Get off the kit. I'll play, not move one thing.
I will say teching is fun because it's like there's no pressure. I mean, you're just kind of like, you know what I mean?
You are definitely getting fired. There's no pressure. Yo, dude, it's no pressure. I throw the drums up. He has a bad show.
I'd be on the stage during the show. He'd just be lounging, having a beer.
I'm like,
I'm not. Yeah. Anyway,
looking for him. He's like up on the balcony, just smoking a cig.
I don't even smoke cigs.
Just ripping a heater, not giving a shit.
All right. Sorry.
Man.
Yeah.
Did no, I think somebody what I use now?
Yes.
Yeah.
What's your current setup?
Sorry, dude.
No, dude. I do. Hey, trust me.
Wait, let's get back on track.
I did a podcast, and this shit would go on forever with us because Nate's been around all of us. We can't go 3 seconds without making fun of somebody and maybe quote or some kind of shit.
Yeah.
Anyway,
what do you use?
22 kick, 12, 16, 18. And then,
12.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And then,
right.
DW now, right?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
CW, everything except, Zildjian cymbals and ProMark sticks.
Nice.
What DW is it? Just like the regular collectors?
It's a collectors.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like a wine red, something cherry red is what it's called.
When did you start playing DW?
Yeah.
Last year.
Oh, wow.
Damn.
All right. Pretty recent.
Yeah. Well, it might have been before last year. I don't remember now.
Do you remember? I always bring this up with DW. Do you remember like being a kid going to a store and be like, "That's the kit I want." Like that's
not
the one.
For DW.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah.
That was always.
Well, I think for me, like there's music store that was by our guitar player Ryan's house. We would go there. It was called McMurray Music. They just had all the drums there. They had the whole upstairs was drums.
Yeah.
So like there was, and I didn't have drums and I couldn't afford drums. So like it was all of them. Like I walk in and everything's all shiny and beautiful.
I'll take any of them.
Yeah, just anything.
So I think until I actually started playing like a lot, that it was like, okay, I see things more, and plus you get like almost you either get turned on or turned off by whoever's playing those drums.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah, like, I mean that's what kind of guides it. I feel like brands are from like drummers that you like.
So for me, I really liked Pearl drums because who used to play? Oh, man, I don't remember. Maybe Pearl drums was just because that was the more accessible one.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. Like, you just see these bands and you're like, okay, they play that. That's cool. You know, whatever. Then as you get into it, you go, oh, well, you go into a studio or whatever, and you go, oh, DW always sounds good.
That's what I was just about to say. DW is the drums, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You can just grab them and throw them up, and usually you're like, they sound great. You might have to tune a little bit, but like on flyouts back in the day, if there was a DW kit, I wasn't stressed. Yeah. It was like a Sonar or something. An Apex.
Yeah, well, for me, like it.
Do I need to bleep those?
Oh, dude, we
Sonar rips. Sonar
we need any sponsorship we can get, guys.
Like any kind of like flyouts and stuff. For me, like the shells weren't the issue. It's always the stands.
Yeah,
are the stands shit,
dude?
Yeah.
Like I've even gotten to the point now.
The answer
where,
is
yes. The answer is yes.
I've gotten to the point now where like, you know, I have a DW endorsement, so like I always have DW stuff, but like. You know, rental houses don't necessarily always take care of the shit. So I travel now with like 7 of like the cymbal stand tops.
Yeah.
And I'll switch them out.
Oh,
that's smart.
Damn, that is smart. I have
like,
never
that's
thought of
like
that.
The worst part.
It is.
Like well, I don't, depending on how you play, like I know some people don't even use like the tops.
Yeah, I don't.
You know, I know but like, I have like my shit has to be a certain way. It has to when I hit
like
it.
The way it moves. Yeah.
I have to
That's
have
a great idea.
You go tighter, right? Kind of tight. Not like cranked where it doesn't
I'm like
move,
an in between. I'm like an in between.
Yeah.
Like I can't go super tight, but like if it's like doing this shit, flopping all over the place.
I like when it gets scary, like it might fly off. That's my favorite.
Yeah, that's not me.
And then it does fly off.
Yeah.
Do you bring anything else like that?
Extra clutches, you know, like hi-hat clutches, because those will suck
Damn,
too.
I'm taking notes because those are usually the things I have issues with. I never thought to fix it.
Well, I was gonna say we come from back to the drum thing. We come from the generation of like, remember what the custom thing was like? That was the thing. You know what I mean? Like
I started with Orange County. I was with Orange County for
That's right.
Yeah,
for 6 years.
That's
and
crazy.
Then they did the Guitar Center deal, and then like
you were like, I'm out.
Well, their custom, like their artist relations, just kind of went to crap.
Yeah.
And then it was like time for another kit, and then they were being real weird about it.
Really,
not calling me back. So I just left.
I know, but in that moment, it was probably pretty sick to be like, "Oh my god, I'm endorsed by."
Oh, it's gotta
like,
dude. I mean,
that was huge. That was huge.
Gave me a lot.
Orange County like Travis Barker? Was he?
Yeah,
it was like the huge
Travis, Adrian,
all those guys.
A lot of drummers.
Yeah, that was like the big
furry drum
thing
kits
for
and stuff.
our genre.
Furry drum.
Ours and like punk genre, like Newfound.
I remember they were the first. I remember even being confused by the idea of custom drums. I was like, "What do you mean?" Like, you know what I mean? It was just like you had the brands, but then it was like, Orange County. And it wasn't Pork Pie the other one that was like,
they were one of them.
They were like early.
Spawn was another one.
Spawn.
I had a Spawn kit.
Did you really?
Yeah,
Orange County probably made me 6 kits.
It's so
jeez,
sick.
Dude.
I bought the first one,
and then they started giving you free stuff.
Yeah.
Wait, what was the craziest one you? I feel like there's at least one you had that was like.
I feel like I've seen them all.
Pretty nuts.
You've seen them all, Nate. Orange County ones. I never got super crazy with them.
Yeah.
The most custom one that I still have is
the Cardinals one.
No, that was the SJC.
Okay.
But Orange County specifically, I still have the kit because it sounds fucking phenomenal. I'll never get rid of it. It has our second album artwork on it.
Oh, I remember the black and green one.
With like all the green and stuff on it.
That's cool.
But like, it's got re-rings in it. The insides are stained black. Like,
that's awesome.
Just this kit. It's something about it. It's a 22x22 kick. Like it's a Canon.
That was
Jeez, dude.
That was the time, dude.
But it sounds phenomenal.
Yeah.
All right.
In Orange County, it was like the most crazy I ever went. SJC, who I went to, I did Pacific for like one kit, and then they got weird.
Pacific? Wait,
I remember that. I had that kit. It was like a white. It was like a white vintage looking kit. Had that like white kind of like marble ish.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, I had that for a minute, and then they like got weird. Where I called and I was like, "Hey, I see this snare. Can I get this snare? It's a snare drum. It's not a custom snare drum, but you could buy it from the fucking website."
Yeah.
And they wanted to charge me like $300 for it. And I'm going, but I'm indoors.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then in between, like I met Mike from SJC and he was super cool. Like he's like, I know you're with Pacific, but if you ever need anything, call me. So
poached you. Got you.
Kind of. He got me. Plus like Brandon Steinekert, he had switched from Orange County to SJC when he
they used, right? Is he the drummer they used?
Used and then Rancid.
Yeah, Rancid.
He's one of my best friends. That dude's amazing.
That's sick.
He kind of called me and kind of talked to me about everything and kind of told me his experience with them. And so I went with them for a long time. But the craziest thing I did with them was a skateboard kit. Like
grip tape. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah. Well, it was the shells were like a hybrid. They were like wood, and then they had like a strip of acrylic. But in the acrylic, I went online and bought like 150 like 80 skateboard stickers and scanned all of them, and then sent them all to SJC, and they made like a design.
Holy!
And like that's what the strip was. The white. It was a white acrylic, but had all the sticker designs all over it, and then the hoops were wood hoops, which I'll never ever do again. And they had like rip job grip tape on the outside.
Jeez, holy dude, shit. I gotta find a photo of this shit.
I mean, do you still have it or no?
Well, I know where it's at. I don't have it. A super fan of ours bought it from me, and he has it in like a SOTY museum down in Florida somewhere.
Hell yeah!
Damn.
But it was and then like they put trucks and wheels on the kick, like on the top of the kick.
Wait, say that again?
Yeah, they put like skateboard trucks and wheels. Because my original idea was like
I bought with that. No.
Yeah, I've turned it over and rolled on it.
That's insane.
But my original idea was like like all the vent holes and all the toms. I wanted the wheels to be in there.
Whoa!
With like the bearing, and the bearing like where your truck would go through would be like the vent hole. But they just said like logistically it wouldn't work and stay and like last. And,
what state of mind were you when you thought all of this up? This is crazy.
Hey man,
I mean, they were doing crazy drum kits, dude.
Yeah, like a couple Bud Zeros, and you're just going for it.
I thought I'd always wanted some kind of like skateboard themed kit.
Yeah,
and that was just what we came up with. Like
that's awesome.
The custom world just made everyone's minds go to places that I don't think they ever. Because when you're a kid, you're never like, you know what? One day I want to do. Like I want to build.
Dude, Nate hates when I bring it up, but Nate, you have that like what was it, 26 by like 24-inch kick drum? That was like you could like live in it.
24.
His marching band,
tiny house.
Yes, it's tiny.
Yeah. The thing,
I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, but I mean, that's also, I mean, it's cool though. It's like, and how did it sound? Did it sound good? No.
I wonder why.
Well, that's
all the grip tape and wheels all over it.
Yeah. Well, the other thing too is I went to like for that kit for whatever reason it was a 12, 14, 16, and it just wasn't like deep enough.
14's tough. 14's
yeah. It just wasn't tough. Like it didn't have that boom that I needed. Yeah, like it was it. But the Rackstown was the worst sounding part of it. Like it just, you can never get it to sound good. So I didn't use that one very long.
So you skated off on it into the sunset.
It sat in Dan's basement for a long time, and it was in my basement. And then this super cool dude, was just kind of like asking if we had like gear. He'd buy it just because he has.
So
like,
you weren't looking to sell anyway. He just reached out.
More or less, yeah.
That's cool.
I mean, I got asked about that kit all the time from people.
I bet, dude.
If you ever want to get rid of it, it's just like, okay, I didn't think I'd ever want to get rid of it, but I
want to see someone drop in on a half pipe on it.
Be so sick.
I mean, what are you gonna? If I kept all of my drum sets that I ever got, I'd have like 18 kits. What are you gonna do with 18 drum sets? I don't have room for 18 drum sets.
Yeah, I have 3, and I feel silly having 3. I need to get rid of one.
Reed's got more than I do.
I have 3.
Ben's got like 30.
No, I don't. I got rid of a lot of stuff. I still have I have choice stuff that I'll always keep. But
the way you look just now when you said that,
like,
because I'm in all of your drums, it's like a pile of drums.
Well, I do actually legit. I actually legit have there's a I have a kit in the corner right now that's so funny when you said it, because I was like, oh yeah.
I forgot you had it.
No, I
forgot about that.
The most recent one I bought was an 8. I've told you guys about it, but the 80s. Early 80s recording custom Yamaha.
Oh yeah, that's sick.
I found a guy selling one. It's like it looks brand new. So I was like, I've always wanted one. So I was like, I guess I need another drum kit, and I've used it once. So I mean, I guess
I essentially have one Orange County, one SJC, and one DW now.
Oh, just like the brand.
I have the SJC one. I have as an acrylic, so I'll never get rid of it.
Yeah, it's cool.
It sounds good. We recorded Wolves, our record before last, with that kit.
Dude, I have
really good.
I have a question that's going to kind of move it to a different thing.
No, it's fine.
How was it working with Feldmann on that? I've never gotten a chance to ask somebody about working with him. How was that?
I worked with him
and for listeners, which album was this?
Yeah, it was the
Page.
Yeah, Page. Yeah,
Page Avenue. So, well, it's.
I was going to say it's probably yeah, sure, but.
Well, it depends on which
Listen,
part.
he's not going to listen to this. Say whatever.
Yeah, just let's.
I don't really care. I've talked to him about this. The part where he tried to get my friends and my band members to kick me out of the band.
Oh,
that part
cool.
sucked.
Is he known for that though? I feel like he
is known for doing whatever it takes to make the best record.
Yeah,
and whether or not that always happens. His idea for what should happen is dependent on what the band wants to do, but it was just kind of it wasn't a great
experience
for me.
That sucks.
What do you know what the reasoning was?
Dude, if I'm honest with you, I wasn't that good. You know, I'm just being honest.
Sure.
I wasn't great. Our singer Dan recorded Falling Down, which is the last song on the record.
He's a rippy drummer.
Dan fucking rips. Dan,
their singer is a good drummer.
Yeah. Dan's one of those dudes that's just good at everything.
I didn't know he drummed.
Oh yeah, he's good at everything.
Was that the first time? Was that the first time the band recorded with a guy?
Proper
guy.
Yeah. So was the issue you couldn't play to a click?
No, I didn't have a bunch of issues with that stuff. I just,
I mean, it's nerve wracking, dude.
I mean, you're also got to think it's that same kind of thing where a non-drummer is making up parts as you're going, because we were just
and then
moving
they
through.
Expect you to just play it.
Yeah, and I mean I was 22.
Yeah, dude.
So I wasn't great. None of us were good.
Yeah,
I mean we were good, but not fantastic. We weren't studio musicians.
Well, no one is.
It's Ryan.
Yeah.
Right, but even back then, Ryan,
really?
Ryan will tell you, I mean,
he's gotten better.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he rips now,
yeah. But, I just think it was that. I just wasn't fucking Dave Weckl or whoever the fuck you wanted to, whoever. So I think it was one of those things. The proof is in the pudding. The album is what it is, and did what it did.
Dude, that's what I'm saying.
The parts you played were cool. I thought obviously it turned out to be a great album.
Dude, I like all the stuff that's on there. I really
crushed
do.
on that.
Some of the shit that I can't even play anymore. It's just weird snare rolls and shit. It's just why is this so fast?
Yeah.
I love how that's the old thing now. We're man, why do we make this so fast?
I think everyone's like that, dude. I mean,
so it other than that part of it, it was fine. It was, it is what it is. And
was he at his house then? Did he have his house studio then?
I mean, it was his first house. The room was a bedroom. The drums were in a bedroom. The room mic was in a shower down the hall.
That's crazy.
That's where.
Why'd you guys? Did you guys pick him? I mean, I guess at that point he was making
he essentially picked us.
Oh wow!
So before we moved to California in 2002, we played a radio festival here in St. Louis and made VHS EPKs.
So sick.
And passed them out to everybody.
Yeah.
And Darren, the drummer at the time for Goldfinger, watched it on their bus, and like Feldmann saw it and like it wasn't so much like, I don't think our music more than our live show that got us on tour with them. Because we cared more about what we looked like live than how we sounded, I think, at the time.
Yeah.
I mean, we were literally in California for like 3 weeks, and we got a phone call. Goldfinger wants to take you out on whatever. We did like 3 legs of a summer tour with them. And then by like the 3rd leg, he was like, we knew that he was an A&R rep for Maverick, Warner or whatever. And I want to take you guys to showcase Maverick, whatever. And then October of 2002, we were at the Viper Room at 10:30 in the morning playing for like 15 people.
Oh, we were just talking about those.
Yeah. And then like 1:30 in the afternoon, we got a phone call saying they wanted to offer us a contract. It was like
so sick.
That's so wild.
Wow.
So it was.
So, I mean, you were a younger band, and obviously you didn't have everything figured out, as you were kind of mentioning when you were recording the first album. But how much of it was written? Were you figuring it out on the fly in the studio?
Some of it. Well, we lived in Southern California, and we would just rehearse all the time. And Nate knows, Ryan doesn't stop writing music ever. Like, even if we just finished a record and put a record out, he's already started writing. Yeah. But so a few of the songs were done. Like Razor Blades was on that Big Blue Monkey EP that we did, but like had a different chorus, and I think it was called Razor Blades and Cupcakes or some shit. And then we wrote Until the Day I Die on tour with Goldfinger, like in the van, and we did like we did a demo of that here in St. Louis. I don't remember the time frame, but we wrote that. We showed Feldmann. He was like, "Okay, yes." I think this might have even been before we showcased, because I remember he came down to our house like the night before the showcase and went through like 7 songs, and he picked like 4 of them and like reworked them, and we had to like fucking remember what we did the next day. It was pretty stressful.
Damn, I don't think I realized how involved he was. I just thought it was like, every story is different for each band, but I just thought it was like y'all went to him and that was it. Like, what I mean? Like, like us and Neil Avron was like, you're doing the album with him now. Like, it was just kind of
it was.
But I didn't know he was so involved. Up until that point. That's it.
It was. We owe our career to him. Like, he helped us a ton, and I'll never not say that. You know what I mean?
That's sick.
But
he's helped a bunch of people.
Did you know in the moment when you guys wrote Till the Day I Die, did you know, like, you were like, this is gonna be
like, this is it?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I think we all knew that like the chorus was good. But like you never know.
I mean,
especially having never done like a proper record.
Yeah,
you don't know.
Yeah,
well, even not to like circle back, not that Field Guitar is even remotely as big, but it's funny that was on our second album, and we never were like, this is it. You know what I mean? We're like, it's cool. And so when we put it out again, people were like, it started to move. We were like, oh, okay. Yeah. Like, it's like gold.
I remember going to Warped Tour and like seeing you guys play, and I remember that song was huge.
Huge.
Yeah, it was so many things have to fall into place.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But like, it's been a crazy ride, man. I mean, it was
for your first album too.
You were in your early 20s, man. That's crazy, especially,
And when like I think what happens is like when you're in the middle of it, you don't know what's happening. Like you don't really realize it.
You're moving too fast.
You're playing bigger shows, and we went on tour with Linkin Park, which was gnarly. Like, it was, you're in it, and you're like, this is fucking rad, but also you don't really know what's happening outside of it.
Well, it's tough. It's tough to even have some perspective in that moment, but
So I don't think until maybe a couple years afterwards we were like, that was
crazy.
You didn't actually let it sit in, like,
no, because we were just always, we were on the move. I mean, Nate knows we toured so much.
Yeah,
like I think from April of 2003 till November of 2004, we were at home in St. Louis for a total of a month.
Jeez.
Wow.
Like,
yeah, those are the years, man. We were like 10 months, 11 months out of the year.
Yeah, it was tour after tour after tour after tour. And then sometimes, like, you're on a tour and you're playing a noon college gig, and then you're headlining that night, too.
Yeah.
Like, we did a lot of that. On Lincoln Park, we would fly off. We'd fly to do radio shows on days off on the Lincoln Park tour, fly back and get to the venue at 6:45, and we're on stage at 7:30.
Yeah.
Jeez,
Like, there was a lot of that for us.
Yeah.
So, like, the success of the first record, songs for sure, but there was a lot of us just
out there. Yeah.
grinding, like doing all the things, anything we could do, like TV stuff and everything back then. You know, so it was just a different time. But, like, you know, you're 23 years old. You don't. Like, that's
Did you ever feel the pressure of it, or you just went along for the ride?
I think we were just along for the ride, really. I don't think pressure set in probably until, like, you're making the next record.
Yeah, and everyone's like, "Don't
like
fuck
I would panic. Like
buckle,
just me and my personality. I'd be like, "What the hell am I going to do
you
now?"
know, then we did like almost like a complete 180 on our second record, where it was just like, oh,
I do remember
we're just
that.
going to be really fucking heavy now.
Yeah.
Like, it's so funny how that's like the story of so many bands. Like the first album, like, I suppose, because you do just hit that spot. Again, I always thought this was what was so cool about y'all. You really just did whatever you want, which was very apparent. And I just thought it was cool. I remember when y'all came out the second album, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
You guys were just like,
that took some balls.
See you later. Yeah, but I think it's cool. I mean, obviously there's always going to be that.
I think what it was,
hindsight where you're like, oh, if we would have done this. But it's like, in the grand scheme, doing what you want is why you started being in a band anyway. Is to just play music you think is fun.
I think what it was we were always heavier live than the first record was.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, and then, you know, if your guitar player really gets into Pantera, all of us, you know, not out of nowhere. He always liked Pantera, but he really got into it and learning how to play all fucking Dimebag's riffs and shit. Like, and then also your bass player loves Pantera, and then your singer really loves just hardcore music and punk. It all kind of like that. It was an organic
escalated.
Yeah, and then then you also have like our record label and our management just being like, yeah, this is great. Like,
that's rad.
Well, that's crazy. They were like,
no one pushed back.
Yeah,
no. So like we delivered the record, and this is just a funny quote, because it's like our manager was like, if you don't sell 1 million copies of this record, you should fire everybody.
That's a great quote.
And we didn't.
Yeah.
Wait, you didn't fire anyone, or you didn't sell?
You just hit him back, and you're like, "Hey, man, you're fired."
Yeah, you're.
And like Guy O'Siri, the president of Maverick, was comparing "We Don't Care Anymore" to like fucking Nookie and shit. Like, it's just going to be this big, and it's just like,
isn't it? It's so
like they're
funny.
pumping you up, and you're like,
people are,
all of it doesn't happen.
Naive.
You go,
or you're like, who's the?
But the tough thing is too, you I mean, especially with the success that you guys had with that album, it's like the sound just becomes defined on its own. Like, you don't have any control of it. It's just like people.
It's true.
People are they want more of that. You know what I mean? And you're just like, dude, but that's not what we want to do.
That's what's tricky. You're so young. Balance. You have success as your first album. It distorts expectations
like
going forward.
Yourself almost on, like, not purposefully. It just kind of happens. And you know, and we went with a different producer, and like, it just kind of Steve Evans.
Okay.
He did. We went with him because he did Snapcase, the Progression Through Unlearning, and Saves the Day.
Oh, nice.
He did Through Being Cool.
Saves the Day?
He did Through Being Cool. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
So we went with him because of that. Because we met with like several people. We met with Bob Rock. Terry Date.
Damn.
Dude,
we really wanted to use Terry Date, but Maverick wouldn't let us use Terry Date because of whatever the previous Deftones record was at the time. It might have been Deftones.
Like, they didn't
Deftones.
like it?
because it didn't do well or whatever problems they had with Terry.
Why didn't you go back to Feldmann if you don't mind? Just because he tried to kick you out of the band.
Well, I just think there was a lot of
something small to do with it. Little reason.
There's just some weirdness happened, and it was just like we didn't want to go back to that. I wasn't necessarily part of this conversation, but like Ryan and Adam, and it's like what. I don't think they liked how like poppy and popular we became, and be like, okay, maybe we shouldn't be doing this super, super heavy shit, but we're also not super poppy either. So like there's a blend.
You found your sound. I mean, it's so tough to be like, find your sound on a first album. That's almost like impossible. It's like,
I think the best version or sound, like the most like, what's the word? I can't think of it. The best version of our band and our music is The Black Swan, which is our third record, and then our last record.
Yeah, the most recent one.
Yeah, I think that sums up our band, like till
like
to
the
this
culmination
point.
of it all.
Yes, I think those are the best versions of our band.
Yeah.
So I understand you did take a hiatus in the early 2010s. I think I read. What did you do during that time off? Yeah,
I worked. I went and
I got a job.
I became a mechanic at Sears.
Sick.
Oh
yeah.
I did that for a couple years, not even 2 years, and then I went and worked at Firestone, doing like as a customer service person, which is if you know me, is not what the person should be doing.
Dude, it's hard to picture.
Did you enjoy that 9 to 5 kind of lifestyle, or did you hate it?
I did for a minute. Like it was nice to just be home, and every Friday there's a paycheck.
Yeah,
and
you know what to expect.
There's that
more consistency.
Yeah, that was great. And then we would like we never broke up. Like we never officially, stupidly for financial reasons, we never broke up and did like a final fucking tour.
Dude, you know what I mean? Double dip like we did.
Yeah, we didn't do that.
Unit tour.
Like so, but we'd go do like a festival, or we would still go to like.
Oh, you still would do that stuff?
Yeah, we'd still go to Japan or Australia, like because we could go there still and make money.
Yeah.
And then I'd come back and go to work the next day.
And then that's
like,
when it would get
fucked, dude.
Yeah.
This sucks. It's a strange feeling. I mean, I can relate to it. I've been there.
I think it just because we never broke up and we still kind of did stuff. And I think if the demand for our band wasn't there and like we showed up to a festival and nobody gave a shit, like it would be different. But like we'd still go play and people fucking went off and loved it, and like so it was like so people still like us. There's still a thing for us.
You guys have a really good fan base for sure, which I've always thought.
It's a very loyal fan base that is stuck with us through weird records and breakup. Not even breakup, but like band members leaving and coming back and the whole thing. Like they're really loyal and like awesome. And I think that's what would make it harder to just do like the 9 to 5. Like you just kind of like I'd sit there every day and go, I'm not supposed to be doing this. I don't think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I feel like I need to be doing. We need to be doing the band again. And but it always is very like, when do we start? And it's always we gotta wait. We'll wait for Ryan because Ryan writes all the music. So it's like.
One day, what ultimately happened?
Yeah, it was Ryan. He sent like a text one day. He goes, "Guys, I think it's time. I think it's time to make a new record." And then we made Wolves, which is the record before last. We did that one all on our own.
Nice,
but the hiatus was, it was crappy and great at the same time because like I had a kid in 11. And then I had one in 14. So I was home for all the
that's sick.
super, super early stuff, which is great.
That's amazing.
And then,
so one silver lining probably.
Yeah. And then like now when we got back to it, like all of our kids are a little older like, it's not easy when we leave on like my wife, because now they're at the age that they're all playing fucking sports. So it's like driving them to practice during the week when she's working, and it becomes a whole thing, and that part sucks. But you come back, for us and for me specifically, it's like you're older, touring's harder on your body. Like, I was talking to Reed when we got on here, like, just my sleep schedule when I'm home, I'm in bed at 10 o'clock. I wake up at 6:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
You go out on tour and you try that shit. And it's,
impossible.
I'm falling asleep in the dressing room. We haven't even gone on stage yet. And, like,
shows need to be earlier now.
Yeah, no. Like a 3 p.m.
We should start doing doors at 2.
Yeah, I'm trying to play at 3:30 and I'm off at 4:30.
Yeah, so but
I felt that way even like when I was younger. I would have loved to have had
you were born older.
Shows.
Yeah,
but
dude.
yeah, so it's like we go, that part's harder, but then like when I go on stage and like you see the crowd and what they're doing, you go, oh, this is why I'm here. Like, you know what I mean? Like you gain perspective as you get older, and you go, oh, this, what I do that I love, these people probably love more than I love it. You know what I mean? Like, it helps them through whatever shit they're going through, and you know what I mean? Like, it just gives you that much more appreciation for it.
Definitely.
So.
Yeah, it's probably trippy to be doing this 20 plus years later, and people are still into it and coming out to the shows. It's awesome.
It's cool though, because like we came back and like nobody we ever toured with was back. So that's like you got friends everywhere again.
Everyone's still
like,
no one can quit dude.
Seen Nate more in the last 4 years than I've seen.
Which is so sick. And, dude, it's so true. It's like, again, when we broke up in 2014, we had kids during that gap. So it's funny to now we're kind of like, we'll never go back full time, as in, I mean, I guess this is the closest you could be these days, but back in the day when we were touring, that was the norm 10 months out of the year. No one's really doing that anymore. I mean, maybe some bands, but like our group is doing like what we're doing now. Cause you do have kids, and you also it's also too much saturation. It's like, you don't want to do that, but it is cool though, because when we stopped touring fully, like, you miss the homies that you had. Like, I would see you so much back in the day, and then there was such a big gap, and like, not that we're talking all the time, like on the phone, and I can't keep up with all of our tour friends, but dude, it's such a special thing. It's like you just said, the last 4 years, we've seen each other a good amount, and it's just such a fun thing. It's like, dude, there's an instant connection. Like we just hung last week. It's like,
you get an email for like a festival, and you're like, who's on?
You read it, you're like,
and then you go, oh, yes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's rad.
I feel like we have to talk about, and I always think, we have so many stories. I feel like we could spend the whole time. But dude, I always think about this one, and you would know the date for sure. But when we were on, I think it was the Fusion Tour. It had to have been. And the Cardinals were in the World Series.
Yeah.
And
that was Boston.
Josh would always wear like Cardinals jerseys. Cardinals on his front kick
Cardinals
drum.
Logo on my kick drum.
On his kick drum. And dude.
Not even my band's logo.
Cardinals. So we were playing Boston House of Blues.
Yep.
Which is the street that's connected.
It was the Avalon then or something.
Right next to Fenway.
Yeah.
Right next to Fenway.
But they were in St. Louis.
They were in St. Louis. So the game wasn't there. It was game 4.
Oh.
But Boston never won, right? And so they were having was it a watch party in the stadium? I think it was, right?
They were doing something. I think so. What happened is because of that game, they knew how downtown Boston was going to be if they won that night.
If they won. So the best part is literally game 4. Josh, we're playing sold out Boston. Avalon. You're right. It was House Blues. Yeah. Josh is wearing all of his Cardinals stuff with the Cardinals. Didn't give a fuck, dude. I remember I was like, you were getting booed.
Yeah. Well, here's how you know it. Like, it's the whole thing's just kind of dumb. They took like the sheet off my drums and they saw the Cardinals logo.
So sick.
Started booing, but then they started yelling, "Yankees suck."
Yeah, Boston's weird. Boston's weird.
I get it, but I'm like, you're not even fucking playing the Yankees.
But so what's crazy was, and I remember back then, Amberlynn was still in a van, and these dudes would always be like, because we would hang so much, and they were like, yo, we got an extra bug. Do you want to ride in our van, in our bus? And I was always like, hell yeah, because I wasn't driving Amberlin because I think I told you that story. When they asked me to drive, I drove. Yeah, I didn't have my license. I had my permit. No. But I drove crazy on purpose the first time they ever asked me to drive, so they never asked me to drive again. Yeah.
That's funny.
They would always be like, yo, do you want to ride the bus? So that night, they're like, yo, I think we had a day off the next day. And you're like, yo, we're going to go hang. So I stayed. And when Boston won, it was straight up chaos to where we got locked in the venue.
Yeah.
We had to sit in the venue.
I got out of there.
I did too with you.
Well, they had to, so, because on that tour, that like it was the Fusion tour, so like there was a semi. We
you had to break down all the
but they had to park like a couple miles away.
Yeah.
So like a couple of us were able to get out of the venue at a decent time and like be shuttled to the buses, but like crew couldn't do shit till like
they were there till
morning.
like early morning. They were just stuck in there.
The funny thing is about just the baseball thing. You were with us when they won in 2006.
I was.
You were with us in the back lounge. Yeah. We played that festival. See, we toured all the time. We'd be in the middle of a tour with them, and we'd bring them on the bus and be, hey, guys, we're doing this thing in like a couple months. Do you want to come out with that too?
We'd be like, yeah, for sure.
Always.
We would
I mean, it was so many tours together. Like, so many.
Great.
It was so fun, though. Like,
I stand by it, dude. Amberlin would not even remotely have the career we did without Story of the Year, actually.
Thanks, Nate.
Very thankful.
This is a nice little moment.
Yeah, it's a nice.
It's true. I've said that forever because like I said, we did not play in front of that many people up until we toured with Story of the Year 1,000 times.
But you guys know it's hard to find people that you like to tour with.
It's very true. Yeah,
and when
you
find
the music and like the
because our bands worked together live. You know what I mean? Like it worked. They weren't as heavy as we were.
Yeah,
it's at points, but it was all kind of, there was emotion and singing and melodies and all the things, and we just all got along so well that
why would we not? And especially back then, I just thought it was cool that y'all probably. I always would imagine that either management or your label or something is like, all right, guys, stop taking Amberlin. And y'all were like, and y'all were probably like, fuck no, we're still taking him. No, I always thought that was cool.
Guarantee that happened, and if you look back on it, probably not the best business move for us, because like you're not playing.
Dude, we would take like $500 a show, dude. We were like, whatever.
I mean? But I mean, just means like as far as expanding your audience,
well, and that's how it was back then because that's what everyone did. Everyone just wanted to be around their friends, and if you had success. Like, I remember Under Oath did that for so long. They just would take Norma Jean and whatever band forever. Every time I die, it was like a new Under Oath tour. Every time I died, Norma Jean. And no one really cared back then. So, but you're right. They're probably like, damn, we should have branched out a bit. It's always hindsight, but it was so fun. And it was just what everyone did then,
Yeah. Just you wait, Nate. You're going to get served paperwork. It's Josh seeking damages for all the potential income they could have generated.
That's so much work. I'm not doing that.
Yeah. You sue me.
That's so much work.
Shit.
I'm too lazy for that shit. No, dude. It was fun. We had so much fun and like
so much fun.
I want to do it again properly.
You should.
I got to tour with Nate for like 10 days when he played with Yellow Card.
Oh, that's right.
Summer.
Yeah, last summer.
Yeah,
that was fun, dude.
Yeah,
you got to do it.
Yeah,
I'm in, dude.
I'm always down. We got to make
y'all doing in the fall.
Brokering deals.
We don't know yet.
All right, hit us
when we were young.
Yeah.
Oh, you doing it this year?
Yeah,
of course. I do that.
Get asked back. Yeah, no problem.
I feel like I should come out this year. I haven't been yet. Just to hang out with everybody.
1 year I'm not playing, Reed. Cool.
I feel like you're gonna go anyways.
Can you go? You can go.
I feel like $1,000.
No, they'll pay you to come. Yeah.
We got you, Nate.
Yeah, dude.
We put me on your guest list, Josh.
I might need a drum tech.
Yeah.
I'm as good of a drum tech as Ben. Don't worry, dude. I won't
hire me, dude. Yeah, don't hire me because I'll tell you that you're wrong.
That's the problem with the way we tour now. It's hard to keep a crew.
Everyone, it's everybody. I feel like, but
like we have like
crew these days makes more than the band for sure.
Yeah, we have like favorites that we like. Yeah, our first call. Yeah, but like sometimes they're not available.
Yeah,
kind of got to go. Fuck, what am I going to do now?
Like, who's on retainer? I was like, $10 a week. Gotcha.
Yeah.
You're like our what's a retainer?
Yeah. I've never paid a retainer.
Like the thing in your mouth? What, you want a retainer?
We could sort that out.
Our main guitar tech bond is out with Papa Roach now. And he does stuff with like Fallout Boy, and
he's like, I'm good, dude. I'm good.
No, he wants to tour with us, but he knows we don't tour a lot, so dude, like it's hard to keep him.
Yeah, what's funny? We always talk about this, and this is probably most bands. All of our techs that we like love and started with it, they have all gone on to just do the biggest things. And we always joke about how we're like the springboard to the real bands.
You're like the incubator.
Yeah, like Charlie's front of house for Blink-182, and he's done everything else since that. You know what I mean? Like he's just done all of it. Scott, my old drum tech's Fall Out Boy's drum tech now. Raul, my other drum tech for like 5 years, is Billy Corgan's guitar tech.
Yeah.
Like,
wait, I didn't know that.
Dude, everyone is. Andy went straight to TBS.
Everyone's stepping up, though, which is
I know.
It's like
nothing
Kyle
makes
Flynn.
Yeah, Kyle Flynn now plays keys. Been playing with Father John Misty for like 10 years.
Yeah.
Like everyone has just like gone, which to us makes us the most stoked. Like none of us are ever bummed, especially if they leave to get an offer like that. We're always
my wife's getting ready to go see him.
Father John Misty?
Yeah. And
nice. Hell yeah.
She loves them.
FJM, baby.
Yeah.
You're not going to go?
No, it's not my thing.
Dude,
okay, fair enough.
Josh, I know I'm not trying to like sell.
You are
one of the most fun live shows ever.
I'm sure it is, but it's like
I can't picture it.
Josh has made up his mind, dude. He's I'm not going.
I respect that.
Yeah,
she's going with my sister and her husband, like my brother-in-law. They're going to Louisville for a few days on Valentine's Day weekend, which I don't give a shit. We don't care about Valentine's Day anyway. So.
Dude, that's such a call him up for Valentine's Day is not be around you and go to a show. I like. I'm just
that's fucking kids got basketball games and shit. If I go, we got to figure out rides and all that stuff.
Hey, that's marriage.
Yeah.
Evolve and have kids.
I leave all the time. She can go have fun and
of course
do the thing.
You're good,
that's
husband,
good of
Josh.
You. Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Try to be.
Well, Josh. Yeah. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah,
I know
dude.
We're coming up on time. But,
good.
It's been awesome meeting you.
Yeah,
for sure.
Seriously.
I'll have to see if you're ever in Florida. I would love to hang out with you and Nate.
We're doing Warped.
I was about to say, are you doing Orlando?
We're doing Orlando Warped.
So are we, baby.
In like November,
dude.
Shit.
Yeah.
Oh shoot.
We're gonna try to do a live.
Yes.
I want to like.
Should we do it there? Should we try to do it there?
I feel like that'd be pretty easy.
You're gonna get the most people.
It'd be fun. We do like a live one.
And then you got to come back, dude.
I'll come back. I'll help interview other people.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. We need all the help we can get.
First we got to get a sponsorship.
Yeah.
Bud Zero.
We need
a sponsorship.
This episode was brought to you by Bud Zero.
I'll sponsor you guys.
Oh, thanks, dude. We appreciate it, dude. Hell yeah.
I guarantee you.
Oh, man.
I guarantee I'll still be sober by then for sure.
Yeah, right.
Hold on, come out again.
Yeah,
fucking stupid Beats headphones.
Oh no!
Come on, Dre.
Oh, I gotta go. Pee real quick.
Dude, I just pee in a bottle the whole time. You guys.
You do?
It. I'm just peeing in a bottle down here.
That's what that little noise was. Huh?
Pro podcaster move catheter.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm out before that happens. But I
Amazing.
For real.
Catheter, dude.
Thanks for doing this.
Yeah, dude. Thank you for being here, man.
Thanks for having me. It was fun. I'll definitely if you guys do a pod in Orlando, I'll come.
Yeah, we'll.
Dude,
all right. We gotta
I'm gonna look into
out.
that.
Yeah,
I'll for real sit with you most of the day.
Hell yeah. Well, here's the thing.
All right.
By what I mean, look into it. Nate, you look into that because I have.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll take it. Don't worry.
Okay.
I'll hit my people.
Yeah.